now live on YouTube, going live on the Rumble. And good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about, things that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you don't realize that you have. King, your mic is still muted. Not your red one, but on Discord itself. I see a little... There you go. All right. Good morning. Thank you once again, by the way, for calling and waking me up. I now officially have a timer on my phone. So, man, dude, I rolled over. It was 8 o'clock, and then I blinked my eyes, and my phone was ringing again. It was a quarter to 10. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, I am A.O. Xander.
King's Refuge.
And you, viewer, are you? Thank you so much for coming in and joining us today, which is Friday, aka Phrase Day, September 13th. Oh, it's Friday the 13th. Shh. Right?
My mom was born on Friday the 13th.
Oh, wow.
December.
Dude, my mom was born in December too, but on a different holiday. Christmas.
It's like the only birthday I remember outside my own. Well, my friend's birthdays, 4 birthdays after me, but those are the 3 birthdays I remember. Mine, his, and my mom's. Only because it's Friday the 13th.
My birthday, my birth mother's birthday shares a birthday with the most famous Jew in the world.
Oh.
December 25th.
Nice.
So, so anyway, this year is 2024. What do we got? Starting us off here in 509 BC.
I'm still getting set up here.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
All right. We have the Temple of Jupiter, Optimus Maximus on Rome's Capitolone Hill, was dedicated on the Ides of September. Ooh. So, Temple of Jupiter. Which the planet, is named after him. Then there's also the planet Venus. Mars is named after the god of war. Poseidon, the god of the ocean. Uranus, the god of gas.
Yeah.
122, construction began on Hadrian's Wall in northern England, and we have spoken about Hadrian's Wall a couple of times on the show. I know that for certain. That was a wall up in the northern section on the British Isles of the Roman Empire, and they couldn't conquer the Scots, up there, and so they just left them to their own devices. Let's see here. 325, Church of the Holy Sepulchre consecrated in Jerusalem. Ooh, that's pretty big right there. As far as I'm aware of, it's a big thing in the Bible. It's a big thing for Christians. I'm not entirely sure exactly, the significance of it is, but I do know it was mentioned in the Kingdom of Heaven, during his one speech while they were getting ready to defend the city. So, let's see here. 1224, Francis of Assisi was affected with stigmata after a vision praying on Mount Verna. So, stigmata is when some symptoms of stigmata is when you just start randomly bleeding in the palms or something. Like, sometimes you might, just go into, a T-pose, like how Jesus was on the cross. From my awareness, that's what stigmata is. There's a whole movie about it, and Foamy the Squirrel does a whole bit about getting a stigmata in the eye. He's obviously confusing that with astigmatism, but yeah. 1501, Michelangelo began the work on the statue of David, a masterpiece of Renaissance sculpture. Yes, and this statue is enormous. The average human only stands up to about the knee or slightly above it, I think. It's a 20-foot tall statue. It's huge. It's enormous. I haven't been there and seen it myself yet, but I have seen pictures of it with people around it, and it is just a huge statue. 1504, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain issued a royal warrant for the construction of a royal chapel, the Capilla Real, to be built. Ooh. Let's see here. Capilla Real. Let's check this out here. 1504? Or, let's see. Because that's when it was, started or something. And it usually took several years to build things like this. according to those who deny the mud flood, which I'm starting to become a supporter of it. But yeah, this structure here, this is gorgeous. This looks like something out in Morocco. It's a combination of a church and a mosque, or something. Like maybe synagogue-ish. I don't know. Religious structures to some degree all look the same. Of course they all have their differences and all that stuff, but some of these really look similar to others. Sir King, are you set up yet?
Yeah, yep.
All right.
Where we at?
We are now in 1625.
1625, 16 rabbis, including Isaiah Horowitz, are imprisoned in Jerusalem.
That's not good. Ew. Wonder what's going on there.
Wonder what they did.
I'll look that up really quick. Well, let's see here. 16 rabbis are imprisoned in Jerusalem. It's just telling me about Isaiah Horowitz. This isn't telling me really much about these events, and I'm sure it mentions something somewhere in here, but I'm not gonna comb an entire wiki. So
Control F and 1625.
1625. I keep forgetting about these things like that. Thank you.
He was kidnapped and imprisoned together with 15 other Jewish rabbis and scholars by the Pasha and held for ransom. Oh, wow. So this was like a kidnapping. He wasn't thrown in jail.
Yeah. This was a kidnapping. Okay. Control F. I gotta remember that. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. So there we go. He was kidnapped with others and held for ransom. So this was some kind of, like, I guess a terrorist plot, if you can call it that. Like, this next one here is pretty impressive.
1631, Admiral Tholen conquers 30-plus Spanish frigates.
Wow. Yeah, frigates. Like, those aren't galleons or ships of the line or anything like that, but they're still, 30-plus vessels with arms and armaments. Like, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty cool. I wonder how many medals he got after that. 1663, we have the first serious slave conspiracy in colonial America, specifically in Virginia. Ooh, a slave conspiracy. Like, what does that mean? Like,
why is it so serious?
Why so serious? Yeah. The Gloucester County Conspiracy, also known as the Servants' Plot or Brick-Hens Rebellion, is one of the first slave rebellions in America. This event set the stage for many of the slave uprisings that followed in the decades to come. It was the first occurrence of English, Irish, African, and Indian indentured servants. Once again, English, Irish, as well as African and Indian indentured servants and slaves working together. It wasn't just blacks. Regardless of their ethnicity, all their servants and slaves were treated poorly, which served as a uniting force between them. This rebellion occurred at a key time in history when Virginian tobacco farmers heavily relied upon their workers for product and profit. By utilizing the power they held in this regard, the slaves and servants could maximize the effects of their actions. This uprising created the official slave rebellion movement. So I'm going to reread it again. By utilizing the power they held in this regard, the power is always in the people. It doesn't matter if you're a wealthy elitist, a common person, someone who was formerly in the middle class, someone who was born, in trailer trash, if you're a slave, if you're a servant, if you're a serf, a peasant, a nobleman, we are all people. We all have the same pie, the same slice of power from the overall pie. Never changes. Never. So, what do we got here in 1759?
1759, British beats French forces at the Battle of Plains of Abrams near Quebec, kills leading generals Wolfe and Montcalm.
That's not really a common happenstance there. Both leading generals are killed in the struggle. That's incredible. So I wonder who assumed command, and if they kept fighting or what. That'd make a cool movie.
Yeah.
This next one would too.
That's a cool movie, dude. Plains of Abrams.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a good title.
17. Yeah, it is a good title.
Yeah.
1782, the Grand Assault on Gibraltar by Allied French and Spanish police, including 10 floating batteries and land forces, is heavily defeated by the British garrison, with all the floating batteries destroyed and Allied casualties of 1,473 compared to only 83 for the British.
Wow. Gibraltar floating batteries. I wonder what a floating battery is, because like I'm imagining just like, a plank of wood with some cannons or something on it like that, but like why not just use a
Yeah.
ship? Well, I guess well, that's a very small picture. Um that's slightly better. Whoops. So I guess this is what would be a floating battery here. It is a ship, but it's been heavily modified to include like a roof, for more armor.
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
this is a purpose built for this particular engagement. This reminds me a lot of the Confederate ironclads. You remember the ironclads, King? All right, let's see here. Confederate ironclad. This here. You see how like it has a like the entire top part is like a sloped roof, very very much like this one here on the left, and just for the same reason, there's cannons coming out of here. So, and this was 1500, so this was a couple hundred years before the ironclad, but this is like I would say that would be the prototype. And the ironclads, of course, were prototypes of battleships. This is a picture here of the Union one, where they this is the first. As far as I'm aware, the first example of a
Rotating.
turret. I'm sorry?
Is it rotating?
Yeah, yeah,
Is it rotating?
it's a turret. Yeah, here's well, that's not it. Hold on a second. Ironclad battle. Because they have a picture here. It is of the two ironclads. So here, the one with the turret is the Union one, and the one here with the roof is the Confederate one. And both sides claimed victory in this battle, despite neither really doing heavy damage to themselves, and they both ran out of ammo essentially. So, but man, that's interesting. Floating artillery, huh? 1789.
First loan to U.S. government from the New York City banks.
Now, paid really
Oh
close
boy.
attention to that year. This coincides with that the decline of the American Dream video I've mentioned practically every video. Um, what's his face? Alexander Hamilton, or no, was it John Adams or Thomas Jefferson? Who said they killed the banks?
Anderson.
Anderson. Okay.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Andrew Jackson. I was like, Anderson.
Jackson.
Mr.
Yeah,
Anderson, I am inevitable.
No, Andrew.
Yeah. But this is the first time the Rothschilds, the Red Shields, were trying to take over our economy, as they had, to London and all over the place since the Napoleonic era. Well, actually, this is just before the Napoleonic era. So, yeah. So this was their first attempt, which didn't work, and then they came back in 1911, and Woodrow Wilson, that son of a gun. So, what else do we got here? You want to wrap us up, 1700s?
1791, France's King Louis the 16th accepts Constitution.
All right. This is just before their revolution. 1808, during the Finnish War in the Battle of Jutas, Swedish forces under Lieutenant General George Karl von Doblin defeated the Russians, making von Doblin a Swedish war hero. Alright, pretty cool. 1845, English chemist Michael Faraday discovered the Faraday effect, the influence of a magnetic field on polarized light. That's really interesting, using magnetics to manipulate light, because light, even though it's negligible, it still has mass, and that's why it can't escape a black hole. So magnetics affect light and all that whatnot. And 1847, Battle of Chapultepec. U.S. forces captured Chapultepec Castle during the Mexican-American War, allowing U.S. General Winfield Scott to go on to take Mexico City. All right. Huh. Interesting last name. What do we got here in 1849?
1849, first U.S. prize fight fatality. Tom McCoy.
Huh. So, a death on the ring here. Let's take a look at this. Yankee Sullivan. This is born James Ambrose, but this is not... Is this even the same guy? No, Tom McCoy. But what? Okay. For whatever reason, the wiki gave me a completely different person. And once again, I'm not getting really any hits on the surface level scratch of this article. So if anybody knows more about this particular incident, please let us know in the comments section. That's wild. The first recorded death in the ring for prize money. What else do we got? 1850.
1850, the main belt asteroid 12 Victoria is discovered by J.R. Hind.
Huh. All right.
It's a weird name.
Yeah. Asteroid belt 12 Victoria. Belt 12 Victoria. Let's see if there's a picture or something. Okay. Okay, so the asteroid, it's not the belt's named 12 Victoria, just one rock in the belt. Then there's the asteroid belt is after Mars and before Jupiter, right? Yeah.
Sure. I don't know.
Yeah. For half a second, I thought it was between Earth and Mars, but no, that can't be right. The asteroid belt is between Mars and Jupiter. But yeah, no, so this photo right here, it's just, one space rock. So basically this guy discovered a giant lump of rock in space and gave it a name. All right. 1858 here, Hamburg U.S. ship Austria caught fire and sunk, 471 died. Jeez. That's not good. 1861, first naval battle of the Civil War, Union frigate Colorado sunk the privateer Judah off Pensacola, Florida. Huh. Oh, all right. 1867, General Edward Canby ordered South Carolina courts to impanel black jurors. So what does that mean, impanel? Get them off the jury? Or, once again, I'm not getting anything here. Actually, I can do this. Control F, 1867. Let's see if... here we go. He was assigned... Okay, this is just talking about military stuff. I'm not seeing anything about... Alright, well, the little trick didn't work. That's unfortunate. What do we have here in 1869?
Jay Gould and James Fisk attempt to control U.S. gold market.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay. This sounds like a, what's their face from Trading Places, Mortimer and what's his brother, like, they're trying to corner, like, the corn market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It has
like that.
Yeah, it has that attitude all over it.
Yeah.
What else do we got? Ooh.
1881, American Lewis Howard Latimer invents and patents electrical lamp with a carbon filament.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on up.
Yeah.
Moving on up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard recently that our and this is nothing special, and this is just all across the board with everything conceivable, but our light bulbs are intentionally made to burn out. Like, there's a light bulb over 100 years old that's still burning. They're intentionally making it bad, with planned obsolescence. So that way they force you to go out and buy another one, after like a couple months or whatever. Like If they actually built light bulbs with the technology we have, you'd only need to buy one light bulb your entire life, or however many you need for how many devices you have, but that'd be it. They can't make money. We're too efficient with our technology now for business, and runaway capitalism at its finest. What else do we got here? 1883.
Hugh Daly, a one-armed pitcher for the Cleveland Force City, tosses 1-0 no-hitter against Philadelphia.
Ah,
Huh.
not bad for one hand.
One-armed pitcher.
And
Yeah,
hey, we have been joined by
clue.
Pete to impanel a juries to put it together. Therefore, it was a directive to desegregate juries. Okay, I had a feeling that's what it meant, but I wasn't really sure. Thank you very much, Pete. So to go back a little bit, when we were talking about this guy impaneling black jurors, he wanted to make sure that there were blacks on the jury. So that's good. General Edward Canby is a good guy. That's good. Thank you very much, Pete. I can always count on you, man. Like, dude, Pete's is awesome. Oh.
Yeah, thanks for contributing. Yeah. We don't know everything.
Yeah. Yeah. What else do we got?
Little Cecil Rose colonists hoist the Union Jack in Mashahona land and Salisbury, modern Zimbabwe.
Ah. Oh, this is our land and we claim it in the name of England. You can't claim it. We live here. Well, do you have a flag?
Do you have a flag, though?
Yeah, what was Eddie Izzard, a great comedian. Huh.
Yeah.
What else did Pete say here? Planned obsolescence isn't entirely true for bulbs. Its cost effectiveness, a lifetime bulb would be prohibitively expensive. Maybe. You have a point there.
Is it?
I don't know. Maybe for us today, but 30 years ago we probably would have been able to afford one. It'd probably be the cost of a house, but then we'd never have to buy a light bulb again, so it's a worthy investment. I don't know. I'm no economist, so I'm not gonna. One thing, there's very few things I will never do in life, and one of them is argue with Pete because he knows more than me. So, let's see here. We got we got two here. 1898 as well. 20,000 Paris construction workers went on strike. I wonder what they are going on strike for. 20,000 is pretty big. It has to be General Confederation of Labor. All right. Is a National Trade Union Center. Okay, well, this is something else entirely. What was the strike? The strike movement of 1898. Okay. Let's see what this gives me. Not only for workers, but for a frightened public as well, was a spread over the previous decade of the nation of the general strike as labor's epic weapon for the overthrow of the class system. So it was class warfare. We need one of these. Oh. We need to stop the race war, the gender war, the this war, the that war. We got to bring back Occupy Wall Street. 1899, Mackinder, Ollier, and Brochereau made the first ascent of Baitan, 5,199 meters, which is 17,058 feet, the highest peak of Mount Kenya. All right. Good Sir King, you want to bring us into the next century?
1900, Filipino resistance fighters defeat a small American column in the Battle of Pulang Lupa during the Philippine-American War.
Oh. All right, small column.
1902, Chicago Cubs infielders Joe Tinker, Johnny Evers, and Frank Chance appear together as teammates for the first time, creating the famed double play combination Tinker to Evers to Chance.
Huh, that's cute. That's like something out of a sitcom. The first thing I thought of was out of that show Scrubs where they had Turner and Hooch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1906, first airplanes flight in Europe, Brazil, Alberto Santos Dumont flies his hybrid 4 bisplane attached to a hydrogen balloon for takeoff at Bactigal, France. What's that? I gotta see that.
I gotta see it too. That's interesting. Using a balloon to aid in ascent.
Yeah.
What the hell is that thing?
What the fuck is that?
What in the name of Minecraft aeronautics are we looking at? I mean, it catches the wind, that's for sure.
Oh, apparently.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's a picture of
Hey,
it.
there you go.
Wow, that is
Wow.
some wild looking stuff I'm seeing here.
That's crazy.
Huh. The first airplane in Europe. Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Well, you know, those people are always full of hot air, and now they find a practical use for it. 1907, Canadian Interprovincial Rugby Football Union, the IRFU, formed with the merge of Hamilton Tigers, Toronto Argonauts, RRFU, and Ottawa Rough Riders, Montreal Football Club, QRFU. That's a lot of FUs in there.
Yeah.
1907 as well, the Lusitania, you know, this ship will become very well known in a few years, arrived in New York City after a record 5-day crossing of the Atlantic. And as we know, Lusitania, a sister ship of the Britannica, I believe, as well as the Titanic. The Titanic, you know, or what we believe is the Titanic, sunk in 1912. And then the Lusitania was later sunk in 1917, 1918. Actually, no, I think it was 1917. And that was the final straw for the United States, and that's when we got into the war. Despite us, you know, using shipping to supply, you know, arms and armor and munitions and whatnot, you know, to one side of the war, despite pledging neutrality. So, what do we got here in 1921?
1921, Battle of Sakarya, the defining battle of Greco-Turkish War, ends after 21 days with the Turkish forces holding back Greek troops near Ankara.
All right.
1922, Straw Hat Riot begins in New York City as youth aggressively taunt men wearing straw hats. Getting an early jump on unofficial season's end date of December 15, confrontations continue longer than usual, lasting 8 days.
I'm looking this up here. Straw Hat Riot. This is weird. Like, it was a riot that occurred in New York City at the yada yada. As a result of unwritten rules in men's fashions at the time, and a tradition of taunting people who had failed to stop wearing straw hats after autumn began, originating as a series of minor riots, it spread due to men wearing straw hats past the unofficial date that was deemed socially acceptable, which was September 15th. It lasted 8 days, leading to many arrests and some injuries. Wow. People were literally beating each other up over, oh, you're not supposed to wear that hat. Like, what? Like, that's like somebody coming up and shanking you for wearing white pants after Labor Day or something. Like, this is madness. Like, you know, this is that.
You just think about the ridiculousness of, like, why we hate people or why we dislike people in today's day. Everybody's got their little box and everybody's got their little group, so we can all hate each other more.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're thinking, like, man, we used to get a lot more back in the day, but then you read this stuff like, yeah, we beat each other up for wearing hats past a certain date.
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
are we ever going to get along?
I hope so one day, eventually, maybe, like, if we don't blow ourselves up first. But, like, this is something I'd expect from the fairer sex, not from men, you know? Like, I mean, you know.
I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
I can feel the shame.
Yeah.
Like, just because I'm a man, you know, like.
Yeah. You know what I would do? And this is just my level of lunacy. But not only would I wear a straw hat, I would get a tiny one and affix it to my other head. And just be like, I'm breaking the law twice! You know? Anyway, let's move on up. What else do we got here in 1922?
Another world record here. Alleged world record temperature of. Jesus. 136.4 degrees. Oh my god! In El Azizia, Libya, in the
In the shade.
in the shade,
In the shade.
in the shade. It was 100. God,
Which means if you
it
go into
was
the
just
sun, you just combust instantaneously.
you just and validated 2012 by the World Meteorological Organization.
Yeah, because it
So
goes against the climate change agenda. So they got to rewrite history and be like, oh no, don't pay attention to when the climate was crazy back then. It wasn't crazy back then. Don't believe it. Don't believe it's only crazy now because we got to push environmentalism. We got to push climate change. Like let's completely ignore that. The crazy weather that we've been living through. Everybody's lived through for millennia. Let's just ignore that and push our agenda. You know.
mm,
What did Pete say here? On the other hand, there is a twisted beauty in that society had unwritten and unspoken rules that, until the point of the riots, most would abide by due to their sense of community. True.
true,
True.
true.
Yeah.
Here,
This is why I say I
great
don't.
point. I agree.
This is
Yeah.
why I never argue with Pete because he'll win. Like, it's like he's my internet wife. He knows best. 1922 as well, the Great Fire of Smyrna, Anatolian city of Smyrna in Izmir, was set alight during the Turkish reoccupation of the city, killing over 50,000 people. Wow.
Oof.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
1925, the first U.S. university for black U.S. citizens, Xavier University, opened in New Orleans. That's pretty cool. Like, that's unfortunate that they have their own thing, but back then they had to, and let us be thankful we live in a world where we don't have to do things like that anymore.
Right.
Yeah. 28, San Felipe. Okay. San Felipe Segundo slash Okeechobee hurricane made landfall in Puerto Rico as a Category 5 storm, killing over 300, leaving 500,000 homeless, that's 500,000, and causing $50 million in damages, about $790 million as of 2020. Wow. That was a serious hurricane right there. Almost $1 billion, dude. That's over $750 million in damages.
That would be $1 billion. That's in 2020 money. So
2020, yeah, that would be about $1
definitely
billion. Yeah.
It would be damn near close if it wasn't $1 billion.
Yeah. I would look it up, but I'm pretty sure they haven't, had a calculator yet to figure out actual 2020 because printing machine go brrr, So, yeah. What do we got here in 1932?
1932, New York Yankees clinched their 7th AL pennant.
Oh. All right.
And 1933, Elizabeth McCombs becomes the first New Zealand female member of Parliament.
All right.
All right, go women's.
Yeah.
Hey.
New Zealand, though, they are rather progressive, but at the same time, they're also rather progressive. Like, both good and bad versions of the word. I mean, they recently passed the law allowing 16-year-olds the right to vote. That ain't good.
No shit.
Yeah, no shit.
No shit.
No shit. No, that's old news. Actually, that was like last year. Like, yeah. And
I try to keep it to China, the
Taiwan,
UK,
yeah,
Canada, and that's why I follow.
Yeah.
Anything outside that realm, it's
ignorance is bliss. That is very true.
I try to keep it.
Like I do the same thing. It's like like I don't seek out information. Information comes to me. Like whether or not I want it is regardless. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am an information seeker for sure.
Yes. What do we got here in 1932? We got that one, I think, or I don't know.
New York Yankees. Oh yeah, we got that. We got Elizabeth.
Oh yeah, we got it. Okay.
1935, Rockside near Whirlpool Rapids Bridge ends at the Great Gorge and International Railway.
Well, that sounds like a
Ooh,
crazy situation. Did you hear about the rock slide at Whirlpool Rapids? What? Like, that sounds like a perpetual disaster. But it sounds like there was a rock slide at this bridge, and it was they were unable to repair it, so the entire railroad company, or that entire railway, went under. You know?
Whirlpool Rock Slide, next sci-fi movie.
Yeah. And in the Earth tornado, it's like you thought you thought the only place unsafe was above the surface of the ground. Then the tornadoes go underground. It's just like we have an
Yeah,
underground tornado.
an underground tornado.
Oh my god. We got to call up the Sharknado people right now.
Yeah, because it can drill through the ground because it's shaped like that. So
Stop making sense. This might actually be a thing. We're building something, King.
thinking ideas.
Yeah.
Shit.
1936, 17-year-old Cleveland Indians future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Feller struck out then record 17 Philadelphia A's in 5-2 win at League Park in Cleveland. Welcome to the new Renaissance. Should we share this? Yes, of course we should share this.
Yes.
Yeah, share it as much as possible. 1936 as well, acting on the orders of Louis Buchalter, Murder Inc. killers gunned down Joseph Rosen, a Brooklyn candy store owner. Yikes. Well, I guess this case the Candyman can't. You know?
Wow. Man.
That sucks.
Murder Inc.
Yeah. Is this guy out here killing Willy Wonka? What the hell? Oh. 1938, Alexander Cartwright was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. All right. Smash News Network. Answer one crucial question. Can your model go beyond a year? What happens after you do the videos for an entire year? Well, we've been doing these videos off and on for years. Like, if you really want to know, I've been doing this since 2007, 2008. Not to this capacity. Like, there's an entire history to all of this. But I've never once done a show every day for an entire year. So I still am trying to get that goal done. We might try again this upcoming January 1st. Answer our question, and our 5.5 thousand subs see this. All right, well, hello, 5.5 thousand people. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
But yeah, can our model go beyond a year? Well, yes, it can, because the next year, the year before becomes history. You know?
Yeah.
Like, granted, everything up until then is stuff that we've repeated, but there's always something, and like just the sheer amount of history is like incredible. Like this here, let me just show you. All of this is today. This is all what happened today on one source, and we have 3. We utilize 3 sources, and this is just one, just to showcase you. And we on the show only bring a couple, so we made daily space weather. Dude, let's work together. I'd love to talk about space weather, man. That sounds awesome. Like
space weather?
Yeah, space. Yeah, like solar activity and whatnot.
Huh.
Like, yeah,
that sounds interesting.
It does. Like, I'd like to, like let's talk more after the show. I'd like to maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we have a good 5, 6, 7 some odd projects our own. We can take on more stuff. No problem.
We do this with different subjects. Just.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to come on, get in Discord and come chat, more the merrier. We can get up to 10 people in here.
Yeah. Oh, God, we've had 10 people in here before. That was crazy stuff. I've heard of you. I think Smash News Network. I'm not sure. But we have a show to do. Let's talk after the show, if that's all right, Sir Smash. If you have a Discord username or something that you can send me, I will send you an invite after the show. But we got to get back on track here. What do we got in 1938? We got that one, so 1940.
Buckingham Palace damaged by German bombs. Easily. There we go, yep. 1940s. There we go.
During the Blitz, yep.
1942, Cubs shortstop Leonard Rule made 4 errors in 1 inning. Oh
Whoa.
boy.
Talk about noob central. Like, wow.
Oh, lay off the guy. It's been how many damn years? Like, come on. You still gonna put him in there? Hey, this guy made 4 errors. I don't know. Seems a little petty.
Straight phone numbers, man? What is he talking about? Hmm. I don't know. Anyway, what do we got here in 1943?
The municipal theater of Corfu is destroyed during an aerial bombardment by Luftwaffe.
Municipal Theater of Corfu. Like, it sounds like a historical thing here. Let's see here. Images.
Bombardment.
Ah. Oh, wow. So this is what it looked like, I presume. Because it's an old black and white. So this was destroyed, and then this is what it is now. It's just a block building. Man, modern architecture did not do this building justice at all. Like, look at that transformation, man. You know, we go from magnificent to box. Like, and we have here.
I think it's all design. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want to make anything beautiful anymore.
Yeah.
They want us to be miserable.
Well, I mean, like, you know, look what they did with the McDonald's. Like, you know, back in the 90s, early 2000s, you know, it was all, like, you know, the architecture was all fun and everything. The furniture, like, you sat in, like, hamburgers and all that stuff. Now it's all sterile and shades of gray and all that stuff. And it's just, it's just, like, it's like the physical representation of growing up. You go from happy and fun to, like, bland and miserable. Like, McDonald's is not fun to go to anymore. It sucks. 1944, Amon Goth was removed as head of Krakow Plazo concentration camp by the SS for stealing state property. Alright. Well, you know, even Nazis had laws, and they even punished themselves, so, like, how would you take this? Like, you know, is this a good thing? Like, that, you know, that they're enforcing laws against fellow actual Nazis? Like, at least they have integrity to some degree. You know, if we can even use that word in this situation. Like,
glide across the board.
Yeah. 44 is... Yeah, 44 as well. Great Atlantic hurricane reached peak intensity as a Category 4 storm. Went on to kill between 300 to 400 along the east coast of the U.S. Wow. Yeah. And we have the last transport out of Camp Westerbork to Bergen-Belsen. And, yeah, Bergen-Belsen. I did a 1 century ago, like way back in the day, there was this guy who is a narrator called Mr. Gentlemental, and man, he had a magnificent voice. But unfortunately, he viewed World War II as offensive, so he didn't really want to, you know, do anything outside of the one show that we did, and he didn't agree with the imagery that I use. You know, but, like, you know, you gotta use offensive imagery to really drill in, you know, the significance of, you know, the times, man. Like, you can't...
History's history. I mean, what are you talking about? Imagery.
Yeah, that's what I was... Because he was upset that I was using, like... One of the photos I used was, like, you know, that photo of, like, all the bodies stacked like logs on the train car, you know? Like,
yeah.
He didn't want me to use it. I'm like, dude... Like, then how are we gonna represent how bad the Holocaust was until we represent how bad the Holocaust was? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't understand.
I gotta make a note of this. At Smash Mash. All right. Gonna hit him up after the show here. What do we got here in 1947?
1947, T-Bone Walker Records hits its biggest hit called "It's Stormy Monday," but Tuesday is just bad. In Hollywood, California.
Ah. It's call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesday is just as bad. Huh.
Yes.
It sounds like Garfield to me.
You go ahead and give me a minute here.
All right, 1948, Margaret Chase Smith, U.S. politician, representative of ME. What is that, Maine? It's not Michigan. I think that's Maine. Elected senator, the first woman to serve in both houses of the U.S. Congress. Wow, that's awesome. 1 year later, 1949, Ladies Pro Golf Association of America was formed in New York City. All right. 1953, pitcher Bob Trice became the first black player for Philadelphia Athletics. Cool. Yeah, that's around the time of segregation falling apart. So, yeah. 1954, Cincinnati first baseman Ted Kluszewski scored a run in his record 17th consecutive game as Reds lost 5-4 in Pittsburgh Pirates at Forbes Field. All right. 365 more days, Swiss inventor George de Mistral was granted a patent for what would become known as Velcro. Velcro, you know? Like, and actually, let's see if I can bring up a video. Velcro is fascinating. Velcro zoomed in. It's just like a bunch of like little hooks. Yeah, like right here. How Velcro looks close up. Like, it's just a bunch of cloth, you know, like fabrics, like twined together and everything. And every time you push it together, you know, they push together, they hook, and then you pull them apart and they pull out, you know? Really smart when you think about it. Like, they have the clean side on one end and the messy side on the other. We also have 1958, Braves Warren Spahn became the first lefty to win 20 or more games 9 times in lefty, you know, left hand. We're not talking about lefty politics. We're talking about, you know, lefty, right, whatever. 1958 as well, Queen Juliana in a gala ceremony, Christian passenger ship SS Rotterdam, the last ship of state. Now, what is a ship of state? What was a ship of states? Let's see, ship of states. It was an ancient and oft-cited metaphor, go away pop-up, famously expounded by Plato in the Republic, which likens the governance of a city-state to the command of a vessel. Okay, so it's not a product or a property of the country, it's a property of that city or that city-state within the country. Yes, as Sir King is saying in YouTube chat, join us on our Discord, good Sir Smash News Network. But yeah, Plato expands the established metaphor and ultimately argues that the only people fit to be captain of the ship are philosopher kings, benevolent men with absolute power who have access to the form of the good. The origins of the metaphor can be traced back to the lyric poet Alcleus. Wow, so like this is some ancient stuff that is got ended here in 1958. 1959, 14-year-old Priscilla Beaulieu met 24-year-old Elvis Presley at a party at his home in Bad Neuennen, Germany. Now, we all know, where is it? Here we go. Priscilla Beaulieu went on to marry Elvis Presley, but when they first met, she was a minor, and he's 10 years older than him. He's 10 years older than her. Like, the first thing I thought was the bill a certain right now presidential candidate, while she was DA out here in California, helped pass that allowed a 10-year discrepancy. This is exactly in that mentality right here. That is weird. Elvis's future wife, when he first met her, he was 10 years. Well, he'll always be 10 years her senior, but she was 14 and he was 24. Bruh. Like, that is absolutely disgusting. Elvis was a map. Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
1959 as well, USSR's Luna 2 became the first probe to contact another celestial body. What the hell does that mean? Like, how do you contact another celestial body? Contact means that you're reaching something that can receive your transmission. Is this admitting to extraterrestrials? What does this mean? Like, I'm going to look this up here really quick. While I'm doing this, would you mind taking us up into 1960?
Dutch. The Dutch First Chamber condemns soccer law.
Oh, great. I gotta look this up, too.
Okay, yeah, look that up. Yeah.
Apartheid. Oh, that's why. Something to do with apartheid.
Apartheid.
Yeah,
Ah, yeah,
maybe.
gotcha.
That's the first thing that pops up, so I'm just going to assume apartheid had a lot of stuff canceled, Olympics and various, like, whatnot. Like, South Africa couldn't compete. They were banned from the Vienna Film Festival, I believe. Like, no. It makes sense. What else do we got here?
1964, St. Louis was the first NL to score runs in every game since in 1923 win 15-2.
NL being the National League, so St. Louis was the first in the
National League.
entire league to score runs in every game since 1920. That's impressive. 23-64?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild.
I'm not finding anything on this Luna 2, so if anybody can figure out what this means, let us know in the comments section. That'd be greatly appreciated. 1965.
Beatles released Yesterday by Paul with a strings arranged by George Martin.
It's only a day away. Yesterday.
Boys and Men did it better.
What?
Boys and Men did it better.
Yeah, well, I'm no singer.
Oh, I'm just saying they did it better than the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come at me, bros.
Yeah. Well, the Beatles were like a way to reel communism into the Western society, or at least into the U.S.
Yep.
Yeah, so. 1965 as well, the Beatles won their first Grammy for the best group of 1964. All right. And we also have today's show's first totally color broadcast. All right.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow, a lot of stuff happened on this date in 65. Willie Mays' 500th home run off Don Knotbart's Giants' 11th straight win. All right, go Giants. 1968, Albania left the Warsaw Pact. Here we go again, the Soviet Union slowly falling apart. Oh. In 1969, you guys sing along with me. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
Where are you?
You got some crimes to solve. However the song goes, I'm a bad fan.
Got some work to do now.
Wes, thank you. I should be executed for not saying the song right, or at least punished. To like extreme ends. But by Hanna-Barbera, debuted on CBS in the U.S. But yeah, no, I was a major Scooby-Doo fan until they ruined it, and with What's New Scooby-Doo, and I thought that was the worst they can do, and then Velma came along, and that's what really showed me how bad things can get. So
in defense of Mindy, I heard she's not involved in writing it at all.
We're talking about the person who was the head of the whole project.
The Mindy, the Indian chick. I heard she's not the actual writer.
But
some shit.
But she's portrayed as Velma. Like she's.
Yeah.
They cartoonized her to make her the star. Like.
I heard she's not writing it though. She's just voicing it.
Well, whatever the case.
In her defense.
Yeah.
I don't know what her
involvement.
I don't know anything really about her.
No.
So, but I just heard something in her defense that she's not the one writing the bullshit.
Well, maybe that's bullshit right there. To cover her butt.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I really don't care.
I just
like
to play devil's advocate every now and then.
Yeah. The only thing that really matters is the end product, and Velma as a series, it was just crap. Just total crap. So. But what else do we got here in 1969? We got 3 of them, actually. Perfect.
Baltimore Orioles win easiest AL Eastern Division title.
Earliest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that sounded weird in my head. I'm like, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. 1969 classic Uno band's first live performance featuring John Lennon, Yoko Ono, and Eric Clapton at Toronto Rock and Roll Bible Festival.
I
Oh
really
my
got to
gosh.
read the entire article because all I read was Plastic Ono's first live performance. I'm like, okay, copy paste. I didn't even read that Yoko Ono. I thought she was involved because Ono, but I was just like,
Mm,
please, please don't let Yoko Ono be involved. If only I read the entire article, then we wouldn't have had to talk about that
mm.
screaming chihuahua. So,
I didn't know her. I didn't know her band was named Plastic Ono Bands.
well, I mean, she probably has enough plastic in her body now to be called Plastic Ono. yeah. Anyway, what else do we have here at 69?
1969, San Francisco Giant Bobby Bonds is baseball's fourth 30 home runs and 30 steal player. Holy shit.
All right. Impressive.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
1971, 11 guards and 31 prisoners die in takeover of Attica State Prison.
Now, where is that? That sounds like a U.S. thing, but
Is that what the Attica stands for?
oops,
Attica.
wrong.
Attica. I don't know where I get that from.
Atticus Finch, maybe, is where you're thinking of. Attica Correctional Facility is New York. Oh, Attica, New York. Okay. So, wow. So, it was out here in the States. Yikes. 1971 as well. Nikita Khrushchev, Soviet premier, was buried in Moscow. And we saw the movie Death of Stalin not too long ago. And Nikita Khrushchev was played by Steve Buscemi. And he went on to become, as it said, Soviet premier after Georgy, I forgot his last name, because it was Vladimir Lenin, Joseph Stalin, Georgy whatever, Nikita Khrushchev, and then like a good 2 or 3 people, like it was a short stint, they kept dying in office. Somewhere along the lines, then we got Mikhail Gorbachev, the guy with the continent on his forehead.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There's a lot of Soviet leaders and such. 1971 as well. 2 North Ireland loyalists are mortally wounded or injured when the bomb they were preparing exploded prematurely in a house in Ban Street, Belfast. Well, I mean, everybody's going on about, modern day, terrorists are Islamic, blah, 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 Al Qaeda, ISIS, blah, blah. It's like, no, dude, the first terrorists were Japan, with their suicide bomb, with their kamikazes. Yeah. And then the Irish got in on it, so if anything, like, terrorism is not an Islamic invention. So, let's see here. What else do we got? 1971, World Hockey Association formed. All right. In 73, ABC announced it obtained TV rights for the 1976 Olympics. Okay. 73 as well, U.S. Congress passed and sent a bill to President Nixon, I am not a to lift NFL football's television blackout of sold-out games. Okay. Yeah, well, that if I remember this correctly, because we looked this up, if a game was sold out, it wasn't televised. I think that was weird.
What?
Hold on a second. Let me just look this up here really quick, and maybe I'm wrong. NFL television blackout policies. The NFL maintained a blackout policy from 1973 to 2014 that stated that a home game cannot be televised in the team's local market if 85% of the tickets are not sold out 72 hours before the starting time of the match. So it's not full broadcast, just local. So if you're in the local area and your team sold X amount of tickets, then you're not able to see it or something, or until they sell, I don't know. Like, I'm a simpleton, so, like, things like this, like, with this lawyer talk that is a little over my head. This makes the NFL the only major professional sports league in the U.S.
So if there's not enough interest in the game, they're not going to broadcast it to other areas.
Okay. That's not cool, though.
So that's what it sounds like. Well,
yeah.
There's not enough interest in the game.
And they're not making the money, So, yeah. What do we got here in 74?
1974, first broadcast of the Rockford Files on NBC TV.
All right.
NBC. 1974, OPEC instructs its Security General to carry out a study of supply and demand in relation to possible product, production controls.
So basically, artificial scarcity.
Mm.
They're mandating by constraining the amount of oil released to be sold to dictate its price. You
Yeah,
know?
kind of like dumping oil.
Yeah.
You've seen those videos of people just ordered to dump oil, and they have to do it. They're
Oh my
like
God.
their hands are tied.
It's
Just
things like
dumping
this.
oil, like literally just
Yeah,
dumping
yeah,
oil on the
yeah,
ground.
yeah. You use the words that you're using for a reason because, I mean, you think like with all this oh, fossil fuels are non-renewable and all that stuff, they wouldn't just dump the oil, they would store it somewhere until the value went up. But
Yeah, they are renewable, by the way.
yeah, well, it gives that theory some credence that all of this non-reusable stuff is all bullcrap in order to allow even
Why are
higher
we still
prices. And
why are we still calling it fossil fuels?
yeah, yeah,
It
weird.
doesn't come from fossils.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the process of it, but I do know if you empty a tank or whatever, what do you want to fucking call it, of oil out of the ground, and you come back years later, it will be full.
Huh.
I don't know how much time it takes for it to refill, but I don't know if it happens to
Yeah.
every hole, but it does happen.
Yeah, so you're
It
talking
has
about
happened.
extraction.
It just fills back up. It's like it's blood. It's like it's the Earth's blood.
Well, it is called the lifeblood of the earth. You know? Oil. That is really interesting. 1974, what else do we got here?
1974, Phillies set an NL record using 27 players in game. St. Louis uses 24, tying record of 51. Phillies win 7-3 and 17.
Innings. All right.
Hey.
That's a lot of players on the field. Well, not at the same time, but used. So. 1977, the first TV viewer discretion warning for soap opera. Huh. TV discretion advised. Foul
Who
language.
discretion advice? This might get really ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I remember watching one time there was vampires and werewolves and everything.
Oh, wow.
It's like, oh,
Vampires, and what were you watching?
I don't know. It was some soap opera, bro.
Huh. That's odd.
I was like, oh,
Okay.
all right.
77 as
They're
well.
getting outside of the meta.
Yeah. 77 as well. General Motors, aka GM, aka Government Motors, introduced the first U.S. diesel auto, the Oldsmobile 88. All right. Let's take a look at this vehicle. The Oldsmobile 88 from 1977. So let's see here. 1977. Enter. Give me some images here. Okay. So it's an automobile with automobile-like qualities. Look at that front. Look at those lights. Man, if you get hit by that thing, you ain't getting back up, man. You are the crumple zone in this car.
Oh,
yeah, that thing is solid. Man, they don't build them like they used to. No.
no. Special caddies.
Yeah.
Oldsmobiles.
Yeah. 1978, first flight of the McDonnell Douglas F-18A Hornet. I gotta look up this bird here. So, let's see here. McDonnell Douglas F. Ooh, okay. A jet fighter. Is that a fighter or a bomber? It looks like a fighter. That's either a bomb or an external fuel tank between its wheels there. Let's see here. Actually, hold on a second. I can just look this up. Try to find its classification on the wiki here. Hornet is an all-weather supersonic twin-engine carrier capable of multi-combat aircraft. Okay. Design is both a fighter and attack aircraft. Has FA. So it's a fighter and attacker. But it's not a bomber. But it can bomb. It has the abutments for attachments, bombs, missiles, whatever you need. That's pretty cool. So it's multi-role. That's cool.
Mm.
78 as well. The New York Yankees recovered from 14 games behind to gain sole possession of American League East first place with a 7-3 win over the Tigers in Detroit. All right. They came back. Good old Yankees. And 1979, South Africa granted Veda independence. This was not recognized out of South Africa. So the country of Venda is only recognized as far there as a country. Let's see if it's recognized by any other countries today. Veda, the Venda. Well, that's the Venda language. Venda country. Let's see here. It's Venda. All right. Officially, the Republic of Venda was a Bantustan in northern South Africa. It was fairly close to the South African border with Zimbabwe to the north, while to the south and east it shared a long border with another black homeland, Gazankulu. It is now part of Limpopo province. Venda was founded by the South African government as a homeland for the Venda people, speakers of the Venda language. The United Nations and international community refused to recognize Venda or any other Bantustan as an independent state. Well, why not? Because they're black? They don't recognize this country because, why not? It's South Africa. If an African nation views another African nation as, equal, why not the rest of the world? That's a question right there. But yeah, so this is this little red spot right here on the map is Venda, if anybody's interested. What do we got here in 1980? Actually, I'll take this if you want. It has a naughty word that I know a way around it to say it.
You could say that.
1980, we have the first United Negro, a college fund. I said it with a Spanish accent because negro in Spanish means black, so you can't accuse me of anything. I'm just speaking another language. So, 1981, what do we got?
1981, good year. Atlanta Falcons tie record of 31 points in fourth quarter versus Green Bay.
Yeah, how about them Packers, eh?
Yeah, but the Packers, eh?
Yeah.
And 1982, Joe Lefari gets 6 hits in one baseball game.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's pretty good.
1982, MLB Phillies Steve Carlton tosses a complete game shutout and hits a home run for the 4th time in his career. And 2-0 win over the St. Louis Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia. He becomes the only pitcher to do so in 3 different decades.
Wow.
Wow.
Steve Carlton. Man. I don't know why. Like, I've never been able to figure out what that logo is on his hat. They have it blurred out. Like, I've looked it up on Google searches, on Ecosia searches. Like, I've never been able to find that logo. It's weird. Oh.
Okay. There's...
Yeah, just like unswirl it, like how they caught that one criminal. They unswirled his face.
Jackass.
Yeah.
What a jackass.
Yeah.
That was so fucking funny.
For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, hold on. This is unswirl face. It was a criminal who had... yeah, right here on the right, he had swirled his face. So then the police force developed a technology to unswirl, and so that's what they did. They unswirled his face, and then they got him. Like, really cool. Yeah. What else do we got here? 1983.
U.S. Mint strikes first gold coin in 50 years. Olympic Eagle.
Ooh. Let's take a look at this. 1983 Olympic Eagle coin. Let's get rid of these things here. Olympic Eagle 1983 coin. Let's see. All right. That looks more silver than gold. Maybe it's white gold. Well, here's something that looks gold. Well, that's Olympics. Maybe it was for the Olympiad. I don't know. It's a little late for that. Alright. Well, what else do we have?
1985, John Williams introduces new Today Show theme.
Huh. Alright.
Sorry,
Uh,
I'm sorry.
why don't you take this next one? Actually, this is a you article.
1985 Super Mario Brothers game first appears created by Shigeru Miyamoto, Miyamoto, and Nintendo.
All right, good old Mario. Huh?
Yeah, Mario.
Yeah,
It's me.
it's a me, a
It's a
Mario.
it's me, an Italian stereotype.
I know I pay taxes. I step on the Goomba. I save the princess. Mario, you have to pay your taxes. I know pay my taxes. 1987, another good year. Cesium 137 was stolen from an abandoned hospital in Rio de Janeiro. That does not sound good. What is Cesium 137? Uh-huh.
I don't know. That doesn't sound good.
Cesium 137, or radiocesium, is a radioactive
Oh
isotope,
no.
oh god, of cesium that is formed as one of the more common fission products by the nuclear fission of uranium-235 and other fissionable isotopes in nuclear reactors and nuclear weapons. Okay, so obviously this was something to do with cancer treatment, you know, like they use minor doses of radiation in chemotherapy, correct?
Yeah.
And various other things like they use it in like CT scans, like the evil machine that you go in that sounds like R2D2 having sweet love with a fax machine, you know, like
MRI.
yeah. And thank you, MRI. So, but why would anybody abandon a hospital and not take radioactive material with them? I mean, I know it's Rio de Janeiro, but come on, like. It's nuclear stuff. I don't care if you're a third world country. If you're nuclear capable in any degree, you'd cover your butt in one way or another. But wow, they stole cesium 1. That is dangerous, and God knows what they were planning to do with that. Like, you know, like making a dirty bomb and whatnot. Like, how many broken arrows have happened? Like, man. 1987 as well. Paul Lynch of Great Britain does 32,573 push-ups in 24 hours. Wow. That guy's got to have a chest like a pigeon or something, man. Like, that's some serious push-ups right there. 87 as well. Tampa Bay quarterback Steve DeBerg established a franchise record with 5 touchdown passes to the Buccaneers, or in the Buccaneers, 48-10 win over the Atlanta Falcons. Wow, 48-10. That is a curb stomping right there, man.
Yeah, that's when they stopped playing the game. All right, let's go another game.
Pack it up. We surrender. Well, what do we got in 1988?
1988, 10th time, 4th player hit baseball major league record grand slam.
Wow. So 4 different players hit grand slams. And now I want to go to Denny's and have some breakfast. I'm hungry. No.
1988 Gilbert is measured the strongest 26.13 barometer hurricane in the Western Hemisphere. So, like, where's the measurement? Like, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, the barometer is something to do with well, let's look it up. What is barometer? Barometer. Let's see here. It is a scientific instrument that is used to measure air pressure in a certain environment. Pressure tendency can forecast short-term changes in the weather. Many measurements of air pressure are used within surface weather analysis to help find surface troughs, pressure systems, and frontal boundaries. So this was air pressure. So this is the strongest air pressure recorded for hurricanes. So it's just like, you know, the density, the compactness of the air, you know, dictates how fast the wind goes, you know, versus, you know, what it's blowing to and how much. I'm no meteorologist or any of that, but that's what it sounds like to me. So, 89?
Archbishop Desmond Tutu leads the biggest anti-apartheid protest march in South Africa.
Yep. An unfortunate last name, but should be respected nonetheless. Desmond Tutu.
Yes.
Yeah.
19,
Go ahead.
98, Law and Order, created by Dick Wolf, first premieres on NBC.
Huh. I would have not wanted to be his PE teacher. Because or any school teacher. Because you know how, like, a roll call, they go last name first?
With Dick.
1990 as well, a computer train at Johannesburg, South Africa was attacked. 36 were killed. A train was attacked. They attacked a train. Like, wow. Obviously something to do with apartheid or something. Like, 91, a 55-ton concrete beam fell in Montreal's Olympic Stadium. That's not good. Like, I wonder if that was before or after the games.
That's wild.
That just showcases the shoddy, slapped-together construction. Gotta make it fast. Oh.
No more Olympics in Montreal. Fuck that.
No. 91 as well, Joe Carter was the first baseball player with 3 consecutive 100 RBI seasons with 3 different teams, the Indians, the Padres, and the Blue Jays. Wow. Some of these baseball players are just inhuman. Like,
right.
Yeah. 91 as well, Kim Zemskal was the first U.S. citizen to win a medal at World Gymnastics Championships. She won the gold with 39,848 points. All right. First U.S. citizen. Awesome. What do we got here in 92?
1992, New York Giants trailing Dallas Cowboys 34-0 was the third. Lose 34-28. Wow.
Wow, they made a comeback.
They did make a comeback.
Almost. So.
Almost. 1993, public unveiling of the Oslo Accords and Israel-Palestine peace agreement initiated by Norway, signed by Israel Minister of Foreign Affairs Shimon Peres and PLO officer Muhammad Abbas.
All right. 93 as well, Queens in New York City began required recycling. Okay. I'm not for requiring anything, but, like, recycling is good. Now I understand recycling is a business just as everything else, and it is not really a profitable business, so the whole idea of recycling, a lot of people are very ignorant that the majority of things that they put in the green bin end up in the landfill anyway. But, it's a thought that counts, right? Like, and there's a whole video out there, actually, how China killed recycling. How China killed... It's really interesting, actually. I'm going to add this into the... how China broke the world's recycling. It's a good watch. Like how some books are a good read. This video is a good watch. I'm going to add this in the underbar of the description section. So that will appear post-live stream. 1993 as well. Wang Jungzia ran a new women's 300-meter world record, 8 minutes, 6.11 seconds, one day after setting previous record at the Chinese National Games. Wow. This person out here setting record literally back-to-back, day after day. That is awesome. 1994, Ready to Die, the debut studio album by the notorious B.I.G. was released. And he sure was, And isn't it recently coming out that, like, not only was the entire rap industry, Sullivan, the entire rap industry was a gaslight to instill more violence in the black community and everything, the murder of B.I.G. That's Biggie Smalls, right? Or is that somebody else?
Biggie Smalls, yeah.
Yeah. So, Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur were killed by government agents to instill a turf war. So, that's coming out. Yeah. Yep. What else do we got here in 94?
George Byrne undergoes surgery to drain fluid from his brain. Ouch.
Yikes. My mom had something like that. Like, she had some kind of issue where the fluid wasn't draining through her spine and all that stuff, so she had to put in a shunt and everything, and for the rest of her life, she had a machine in her brain draining the fluid back down to where it needed to go. So, among many other things that woman had to go through. Man, she talk about a fighter. What else do we got here?
Space probe in 1994 space probe Ulysses passes south pole of sun.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Huh.
Yeah. Instead of going like around or something, it's going down under. Good day, mate.
1995, the Kuwait Oil Ministry states its intention to seek a 200 million barrels per day increase to its 2 million barrels per day crude oil production quota at OPEC meeting Vienna.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what any of this means, but to me, this seems like, artificial scarcity. They dictate the control in order to, control the price.
The price is high.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder, how do we get oil gluts? How do we get, oil shortages if not planned?
It's definitely all planned.
Oh, yeah, of course. 1997, Carolina Hurricanes' first exhibition game beat New York Islanders 4-1. So this was not a weather event. The Hurricanes are a sports team. All right. 7 as well. Elton John released a single, Candle in the Wind, 1997, a tribute to Diana, Princess of Wales in the UK. Yeah, she got assassinated a couple weeks ago. We spoke about that. As far as history is concerned, back in 97. 97 as well, Mother Teresa.
Let her die.
I'm sorry?
They just let her die.
Yeah, they did.
Well, people.
It was part of the plan, they needed some kind of tragedy to bring the people together for something. So there we go.
Let's take pictures.
Yeah.
Let's take pictures.
Yeah. 97 as well, Mother Teresa's state funeral was held in India. Mother Teresa, man, a lot of people wonder, why she was so staunchly against, war and violence and all that stuff. Well, consider this. She was born on August 27th, 1910 in the Ottoman Empire, all right, in Albania. What, what was coming. 4 years old, and the greatest conflict known to man at the time started. No wonder she wanted peace. Yeah, exactly. 1999, a bomb exploded in Moscow, Russia. At least 119 people were killed. Yikes. And we also have John Elway's number 7 jersey was retired by the Denver Broncos in 99 as well. Moving on up to the next millennium, good Sir King.
2001, civilian aircraft traffic resumed in the U.S. after the September 11th, 2001 attacks.
Yeah. I remember in vivid detail. I can practically write a book, action for action, second by second of that morning. I remember it like it was this morning. Not like it was yesterday, like it was this morning. That was some wild times right there. What else do we got?
I remember I was playing World of Warcraft. I'm like, wait, what?
World of Warcraft wasn't released until 2005.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Maybe you were playing Warcraft 3 or something?
I might have been playing Warcraft 3.
Might have been RuneScape?
I don't know.
I
was playing some game. I'm like, wait, what? What's happening?
Yeah. Huh.
And go check it out and like, holy shit.
Yeah, I remember I walked downstairs, and I turned on the TV, parents were getting ready for work, I was getting ready for school, I was a freshman in high school, it was my second week and everything, and I was just, flipping through the channels, and then just saw a building on fire, I flipped over it again, and Dad's just like, wait, go back, and I'm like, what, it's just a building on fire, and I go back, and I'm like, oh, that's the World Trade Center on fire, huh, and then I was glued, And the rest, as it said, is history. Like, I sat there and watched the whole thing. I saw the second plane hit. I saw the first tower go down, the second one go down. I saw the whole thing going on with the Pentagon. I saw the whole thing going on with the Philadelphia field. Like, everything was crazy. And then that day, we went to school, and they expressly forbade for like about a month, no mention. They did not want to make any talk about this, and they expelled every kid that even uttered the word 9/11, New York, Al Qaeda. Like, if anybody brought anything up on the school grounds, they were expelled immediately on the spot. Like,
Wow.
it was on a lockdown, yeah, in my school. We were not allowed to talk about it. Yeah. Crazy. So,
I was out of school by then, so I don't know what was going on here.
yeah.
I doubt very highly that was said to anybody for here in Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember distinctly there's this one kid who's, I think, had, like, family that worked in the tower. They expelled him immediately. They're like, we don't care. You're gone. Like, we don't care that you might have a family member that's dead. Now you're out of here. Like, my school was ruthless. Well, yeah. Anyway, what else do we got here in 2001?
Relatively calm returns to world oil markets as U.S. retail gasoline prices return to normal levels. Energy trading by Houston energy companies resumes, and limited commercial aviation starts.
All right. Post 9/11 stuff,
Yeah.
Yep.
2003, British rock singer Mike Smith, Dave Clark 5, fractures spine, falling while trying to enter his home after locking himself out, becomes permanently paralyzed by the waist down. That's
tragic.
Man.
I mean, like, that is Murphy's Law in action, right there. But like, don't forget your keys, people. Like, make sure that you have everything before you depart on your little excursion. So, yikes. 2005, Supernatural debuted on the WB, starring Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki, longest-running North American fantasy series. All right. Is that that's not the same one? What's the one where they have the various? Hold on a second. Was it Supernatural? Let's see. Death's Entrance. There's this one scene. It is Supernatural. Yeah. Oh, that's I gotta watch that. Death's intro itself. Is really. Have you ever seen this?
Supernatural?
Yeah, or at least this scene of
No.
Yeah, it's when death comes in. Like, these are, like, there's someone who plays the devil, someone who plays God, someone who plays all the various angels. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I know.
Yeah, so you know the premise.
I know the premise of it. I know of it. I've seen a few episodes.
Yeah, but like whoever this guy is, like, this actor, they only have him from the side. They do eventually show his. Here it is. They show his face. That is a really good casting for Death.
Mm.
Oh. But yeah, I want to watch this scene again after the show. What else do we got here? 2006, at Dawson College in Montreal, Kimveer Gill killed one student and wounded 19 others before committing self-deletion. Yikes. So, it's not just the U.S. that has, gun problems. Everybody does, but that doesn't mean we need to disarm our citizens. If anything, that means we need to arm our citizens more to defend themselves when the police, are on their way, if they're on their way. Like...
Right.
Yeah.
Remember that school shooting where the police wouldn't go in?
Oh, yeah, Uvalde? Right?
Fucking cowards.
Yeah. Yeah. Uvalde, right?
I think so, maybe.
I think so. I know that was a shooting. I'm just not sure if that was the right one. 2008, New Zealand.
I think there's been a couple where
Oh,
the
yeah.
police just...
Oh, of course.
Excuse Be scared.
Oh, of course, but we don't know about them because they don't air them. They don't want people to realize just how much of a farce the system is and how much we need to rely on ourselves now more than ever. Not on the government, not
Yep.
on the police. You're on your own out there, people. Get a gun. So, 2008, New Zealand defeated Australia 28-24 in Brisbane to clinch their fourth straight Tri-Nations Rugby Series. Fly half Dan Carter scored a try and landed 4 conversions for the All Blacks. Oh, crikey. Look at that, mate. And we got 2012. Do you want to tell us about that?
Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev, Russian punk band Pussy Riot to be free.
A prime minister of Russia was a fan of the band Pussy Riot. Oh my god! Oh my god! That is great.
That's awesome.
But we skipped over a couple other ones here. 2012, 19, and then 2012, 33,000.
19 people are killed after a freight elevator crashes from 100 meters in Wuhan, China.
Of course, China. Freight elevators, that's terrifying.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nothing new in China.
That's, what do they call it? Their styrofoam architecture, like...
Tofu dredge.
Tofu.
Tofu dredge.
Tofu dredge, yeah. Tofu architecture, stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, we have a volcano here as well.
2012, 33,000 people are evacuated after Guatemala's volcano of fire erupts.
Wow. Volcano of fire. Well, I mean, it's not a volcano of cotton candy. So, that would be interesting, though. Like, a volcano that spews cotton candy. 2013, Jim Furyk fired 12 under par 59 in the second round of the BMW Championship at Conway Farms Golf Club in Lake Forest, Illinois, becoming just the 6th player to shoot sub 60 at the PGA Tour event. All right. And actually, do we have any comments? We do have comments on Rumble here. It's Good Sir King providing his Discord link here. So if anybody's watching us on Rumble, you have the link right there. What else do we got here? 2014, 40 people are killed after TB Joshua's The Synagogue Church of All Nations collapsed in Nigeria. That's not good. How can you be a synagogue church? Because synagogue is Jewish. Church is Christianity. Well, I guess, people go to temple in both of them too, so I don't know.
Synagogue church. Are they combining?
Yeah.
Making their own religion or something? Combining 2 religions?
Well, they're trying to combine all 3 in New York. They have this whole facility that has this thing that's a synagogue, a church, and a mosque at the same time. Like, as good as that sounds on paper, unfortunately, the 3 cannot mix. 2 of the 3 can, but,
2 of the 3 can.
Yeah. The Jews and the Christians certainly can mingle, but the third one, wants to eradicate the entire world of everything that's not them. So that's what their religion dictates. If I'm wrong, tell me. So what do we got here in 2015?
2015, the EU migrant crisis. Germany introduces temporary border controls to cope with huge migrant numbers.
Wow.
I wonder how that's going.
I wonder what happened to that. I wonder. What else do we got?
2015 Evian Championship Women's Golf Evian Resorts GC Lydia Ko and New Zealand wins by 6 from Alexi Thompson to become youngest major winner at 18 years old. 142 days. What is that?
Congratulations to Linda Ko. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. California's next.
No.
Here we go. I remember this.
2015, Governor of California Jerry Brown declared
Boo!
state of emergency after wildfires devastate Lake and Napa counties. Hey, Xander, how's that going?
Ah, yeah. Well, thankfully we don't have King Med with us anymore, but we do have Gavin Newsom. Um, And he has declared a state of emergency because of the three major fires. I've been talking with you about them for the past, 4 or 5 some odd days. The airport fire, the line fire, and the bridge fire form almost a perfect triangle around me. I'm not in danger or anything, but still, we have 3 massive fires. As of 2 days ago, the National Guard have been down here. Yeah, so we are under a state of national emergency or statewide emergency. Or I guess national emergency.
It's been 9 years. What have they put in place to prevent this from happening?
Oh, nothing.
Anything?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh,
No, absolutely nothing.
interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Before you get me started on a rant here, let's move on up to 2017.
I'm trying.
I saw the bait. I saw the bait. So
Actress Rebel Wilson awarded $4.56 million in damages in a libel case against Bauer Media and Melbourne, largest defamation payout in Australia.
crikey!
Oh,
Wow.
defamation, huh?
Yeah. All right. So good. She got
Yeah, good for
she
her.
got her money. That's good. Oh.
2017 International Olympic Committee announces Paris 2024 and Los Angeles 2028 will host the Olympic Games.
All right, and then we just finished the Paris one, and that was a debacle. Yeah.
Let's not do that again.
Well, I think it's gonna get worse. Because
They don't get to. First of all, y'all don't get to do opening ceremonies anymore. If we do hold it there, no. No,
X-nay on
no.
this ceremony opening SA.
X-nay on the making fun of any fucking religion,
Yeah.
Fucking assholes.
See, it's not that they mock Christianity; it's that they mocked. Period. I don't care if they mock Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism. You don't utilize anything as a platform to
First of all,
attack.
there's a time and a place.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's called college.
and second of all, like, you usually do it through comedy, right? Not this fucking woke weirdo bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine with a fucking Christian joke. Like,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of fucking things to clown us on.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine and dandy, but what other religion I defy you to find any American thing that's played on TV that mocks like they did
Anything.
and takes it like seriously. Jokes don't count. I mean, we're,
Like
we can barely find any
when-
jokes, but hey,
when the platform is hate, when it goes beyond mockery, when it goes into outright prejudice, that's when there's a problem. And I have a feeling that what's coming up here, because especially out here in LA, we're all all the world's problems that we're going through right now, every freaking problem on the world stage all came from California. And now we're going to have the Olympics here in 4 years in California, in Los Angeles. There's very few places on this earth that is more woke than here. And I have a feeling that 4 years from now, we're going to look back at the opening ceremony in Paris and be like, man, we had it so good. I have a feeling that's where we're going. So,
why not?
What's coming is going to blow everything out of the water, in a bad way, in a very bad way. So, anyway, what else do we got here in 2017?
2017 nursing home inhabitants rescued after losing their air conditioning after an aftermath of Hurricane Irma in Hollywood, Florida. 11 died.
Florida. Florida. Okay, Florida. For half a second, I thought it said Hollywood, California. I'm like, wait. What time out? We had a hurricane in Hollywood? No, Hollywood, Florida. Yeah, that's right. But yikes, that's still nursing home inhabitants, man. Let's not forget, that that one elderly gentleman who was like living out here in California with at-home machines, and Southern California Edison deemed it appropriate to, without warning, shut the power down to an entire quadrant, because of fire risk and all that stuff. And because there was no power, his machines couldn't run, and then he died in his own home. An old guy, and that's just one of many examples that have happened. But yeah, like if you have people out there that are dependent on anything, keep an eye on them, always. Like especially during times of weather strife and whatnot. Figure out a way to go be with them. Be at their bedside. Make sure that they're going to be okay, because you never know. Situations like what we just read, nursing home failed. When the nursing home fails, like whose responsibility is it? Yours. So make sure that your relatives are okay out there, people.
Yeah.
2017 as well, the so-called pharma bro Martin Shkreli bail revoked after he judged risk to community for posting $5,000 bounty for a strand of Hillary Clinton's hair. Oh my God! Wow, this guy.
Why? Fucking nutter butters.
I mean, you want to talk about assisted suicide? Like.
For real, like
Yeah.
all the strands of all the hairs in the entire world, you pick the one who has a actual kill list.
Good luck with that, pharma bro. So.
Good luck, buddy.
2017 as well, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said Rohingya refugee crisis is now catastrophic, with 370,000 confirmed to have fled Myanmar. 370,000. Where are they now? Oh yeah, they're out in Ohio and Utah and Oklahoma, and New York and What do you want to bet? Like how many of those people are out here now? Because of what's been happening. Thanks to the border czar. Yeah, I'm the border czar. You do a better impersonation. Let's have you do it.
I'm gonna do something about the border. Why don't you do something now? I know, I'll do something when I'm elected.
Coconut tree.
Coconut tree.
What do we got here in 2018?
2018, Al Green releases his first new recording in almost over 10 years before the next teardrop falls.
Man, he came in just in time with that. Huh.
Mm.
We are certainly crying 2 years later, that's for sure. Huh.
Okay. 2018, Amazon live streams Thursday Night Football. Cincinnati beats Baltimore 34-23. First all-female broadcast booth in NFL history. Andrea Kremer calls games with Hannah Storm.
That's pretty cool. Oh God, here we go.
2018, Islamic extremists by 121 groups cause 84,000 deaths. In 2017, according to a report by Global Extremist Monitor presented by Tony Blair.
84,000 murders. Murders! Wow. Wow. 2018 as well, nearly 40%, 36.6% of all female self-deletions occurred in India, according to a report published in the Lancet. And I wonder if that's just the yearly report. So almost 40% of that year, I believe, if my submission is correct. Let me take a service level scratch of this article here really quick. Suicide in India. Gender differentials and state variations on self-deletion and everything. But I want to know if this is like, just for the year. Or if this is all time. I don't know. If anyone can let us know, that'd be, I don't want to say fantastic, but at least it would be informative. You know, if this is just a year or all time, or what pool are they drawing this from? So, we also have Pope Francis met with leaders of the American Catholic Church in Rome to discuss sexual abuse. Yeah, they've been finally trying to do some things about that, but they're dragging their feet, that's for sure. 2018 as well, Spanish Parliament voted to exhume former dictator Francisco Franco from the Valley of the Fallen. Yes, he does not deserve to be buried with honorable people. This guy, led a revolution in Spain, took it over just before the outbreak of the Second World War. His country proclaimed neutrality, even though they actually worked with Nazi Germany and fascist Italy during his campaign. During the Spanish Civil War, they used Germany and Italy and other allied nations military people and equipment and whatnot, and it gave them field training. It was a great boon to the Luftwaffe specifically. It helped train them for what would be the war to come versus the rest of Europe and the Americas and whatnot. And he of course supported the Axis powers during the war. So yeah, no, he should have his body exhumed and just thrown into a field for the dogs to chew on his bones. So 2019 U.S. actress Felicity Huffman was sentenced to 14 days in prison for her role in the college admissions scandal. I don't really remember much about that, but there was a whole hoopla about it. Do you know anything about it? There's like a whole thing, college admissions thing.
Oh yeah, not much.
Yeah, college.
Yeah, that she cheated to get her daughter into.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Varsity Blues scandal. Scandal arose over a criminal conspiracy to influence undergraduate admissions decisions at several top U.S. universities. The investigation into the conspiracy was codenamed Operation Varsity Blues. The investigation and related charges were made public on March 12, 2019. By U.S. federal prosecutors. At least 53 people have been charged as part of the conspiracy, a number of whom pleaded guilty or agreed to plead guilty. 33 parents of college applicants were accused of paying more than $25 million, I believe, collectively, between 2011 and 2018 to William Rick Singer, organizer of the scheme, who used part of the money to fraudulently inflate entrance exam test scores and bribe college officials. Of the 32 parents named in a Federal Bureau of Investigation affidavit filed in U.S. District Court in Boston, more than half had apparently paid bribes to have their children enrolled at the University of Southern California, UFC. Money talks,
Yeah.
So, yeah. And college is just a giant scam, these days at least. So.
Huge scam.
Yeah. And before I go off on a whole rant about that, what do we have in 2021?
Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett makes first official visit into Egypt in decade for talks with President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi and Sharm el-Sheikh.
Well, first we have Tutu, and now we have Sisi. Now this next one we can skip over if you want. Yeah. But I do suggest people to read this and realize that she actually might have been telling the truth. The system was going against her, which only means one thing: she wasn't lying. I'm not saying she was or she wasn't. I'm just saying, think. Don't think like me. Just think. So, yeah. What else do we got here?
2023 convicted murderer Daniel Cavalcanti, who escaped from Pennsylvania prison, recaptured after nearly 2 weeks on the run in Chester County.
Ah. Well, we got him back, so that's good.
2023, North Korea Kim Jong-un's meet with Vladimir Putin at the Volshaki Space Center, Eastern Russia, is in suspected arms deal.
Yep. Yeah, we spoke about, what was it, yesterday? He got on the train, so I guess he...
He got on his little bulletproof train.
Yeah. And Uno Mas. Oh my God, here we go.
2023 rise in overdose deaths from fentanyl-laced stimulants mark a fourth wave of the overdose crisis in U.S. according to UCLA research.
Yeah, University of California, Los Angeles. So, yeah, fentanyl is a serious problem. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar in the description below for any links that you may be interested in. So much history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion. Check our sources for more. For your dose of Passive Events Daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific Time, or at least try to, which is 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows, from history to news, movie reactions and reviews, video memes, Omni Kitchen, and everything else between on Talk Show. Check the underbar. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
King's Refuge.
And you, viewer, are you. I want to give special shout out thank yous to Jacob Peets, Smash News Network, and his 5,500 followers who are apparently watching us. I'm not sure if they're still watching us, but yeah, I appreciate their patronage.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, which, by the way, we have Talkness, the Omni Coalition news show, coming up later today at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, so that's actually in 4 hours and 6 minutes from now. So yeah, until you catch us, whenever, wherever, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Deuces.